Billions of dollars have been spent in LA County, yet the problem of homelessness remains far from being solved. Now, a federal task force is investigating possible fraud and corruption. That task force is led by the brand new U.S. Attorney for the region, Bill Essayli. Welcome, U.S. Attorney Bill Essayli. We've had you on several times as Assembly Member Bill Essayli. New job. Congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you. Happy to be here and happy to be in this new role.
So let's talk about this homelessness investigation. What have you found so far, and so what are you looking to do in the next few months and years?
Yeah, this is an issue that's been not only on my radar, but I think everyone's radar. For the last few years, we've seen billions of dollars being invested into the homelessness crisis, and there's very little to show for it. When I was in Sacramento, we would ask for outcomes, and we got no answers. And then just this last month, as audit was conducted at the request of Judge Carter, and an accounting firm came in and looked at LAHSA and said there's $2 billion unaccounted for. Yeah. That doesn't happen. So we want to get to the bottom of where all the money went.
So Judge Carter is the judge that sort of oversees the area, and he's been pushing for a lot of this homelessness stuff. LAHSA is the housing authority that the county has been using. Now there's a big push the city has been using, I should say. There's a push to sort of maybe change LAHSA because of that. So where do we go from here?
Yeah. So we're not prejudging anything. We're conducting an investigation from the bottom up. We're going to get all the bank records, we're going to look at all the transactions, and we're going to account for every dollar that was spent. And we've got FBI, IRS, Office of Inspector General of Housing and Urban Development, and I have my best prosecutors in the office that will be working on this. And the public deserves to know where their money went.
And I know you walked Skid Row with Judge Carter.
I did.
What was that conversation like?
That was an eye-opening experience. I mean, the level of need there was shocking, and also the lack of government services. I mean, walking around there, the only people I saw providing any aid, medical or food, were private people with private donors. And the only government assistance I saw there was people handing out needles and drug kits so that people could safely use drugs. It's shocking.
Well, speaking of that, the previous U.S. Attorney put a lot of emphasis on fentanyl and dealing with that issue. Is that something that you see as a priority, and what are you going to do on that?
That is a priority to the administration. Obviously, a lot of the fentanyl is coming over the border, so that's part of our border policy, securing our border, you know, going after China for sending the product to Mexico, and obviously the cartel for distributing it. But dealers in California should be on notice. If you deal fentanyl, we will prosecute you and charge you, and you'll go to federal prison, not state prison.
What does this role mean to you, to have the confidence of President Trump to be doing this now?
Well, look, it's an incredible honor to be selected by the President and the Attorney General for this. This is the largest U.S. Attorney's office in the country. We have over 300 lawyers. It's a tremendous responsibility. But I think, you know, with my background, having been a local and federal prosecutor and having been up in Sacramento, it's time to have that oversight, that level of check and balance on a state of California where, frankly, there hasn't been a lot of checks and balances in this state.
Well, yeah, speaking of, because you were just part of the super minority, right, in the Assembly, where essentially Democrats could ignore you on everything. They didn't need your votes on anything.
They did.
Have a lot of those people now start to reach out to you because they need you? Have you gotten a different sort of response now that you have a lot more power?
I got a lot of congratulations, but as you can imagine, this new role, I've sort of had to detach myself from the political world. So, yeah, I've gotten a lot of just congratulatory messages, but no, I probably won't engage in substantive conversations with them just to maintain my independence.
But speaking of that, though, I mean, you were, you know, a real critic of Governor Newsom. Obviously, you're in a different sort of role now, but how do you see this job potentially as a way to keep him in check?
Look, my job is not to keep the governor himself in check. My job is to follow the evidence where it goes. So we're going to look at state spending, like this homelessness, $24 billion spent over the last 5 years. We're just going to look at the accounts and see where the money goes. Public corruption will be a key issue. I know there's going to be another investigation into the high-speed rail. So it's not the governor per se, but it is a lot of the issues that he champions.
Biggest change for the office now with you in charge?
Biggest change in the office is that law and order is back. We're going to be filing cases. We will be aggressive but fair. And I think the biggest thing you'll see is a crackdown on immigration cases. Those are illegal aliens who have re-entered, committed crimes. We'll be very aggressive with them. There were no filings in the last few years under the prior administration.
Zero.
Zero of 1326 cases. As of last week we've had over 200 filings in my office. So that would probably be the biggest change, and more to come. We want to neutralize these sanctuary state policies, and I think we have some plans to do that.
Well, you've always been great in talking with us before, and we're grateful that you're here now and hope we can continue that open dialogue.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you
so much.
Appreciate
I'm not just saying that because I want something. All right.